Well, welcome back. Technology among the growth stories of the globe right now in a world where people are unsure of the global growth, especially in the face of cybersecurity spend and privacy issues taking center stage. Joining me right now is the CEO of Cisco, Chuck Robbins. Good to see you, Chuck. Thanks so much for joining us. You've got a lot of catalysts on the horizon. 5G, security, cloud transition. Tell me how growth looks from your standpoint.
Yeah, you know, Maria, first of all, it's the security architectures that have to be built with our customers today are much different than what they used to be. If you think about it, none of our customers in this new world have a perimeter anymore. They're all effectively virtual enterprises. So security has to be built actually into the network using AI, machine learning, all the things that we like to talk about. So that's a key area for us. And in order to do that, we see our customers having to refresh and build in new infrastructure that actually can provide that. So that's a big thing. The 5G build-out's a big thing. The early days of IoT are big. But there's lots of positives. Tell
me what you're seeing in terms of growth right now, given this dominating theme here that we're seeing a global slowdown.
You mean it's like the world's coming to an end?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I thought the world was coming to an end. I just was convinced by all the people. But the reality is that, you know, I, like others, have said we run the risk of talking ourselves into something. I talk to my peers here, and, you know, we all are asking each other sort of where's this coming from. And so I think that clearly there are lots of geopolitical risks, primarily. I think clearly a lot of us benefited from the tax reform in 2018. So you're going to have tougher comps year over year, but everybody's built that in. They know that. These geopolitical risks are actually the biggest ones. And I think that most of us remain optimistic that whether it's Brexit or whether it's a shutdown or whether it's trade, that those things are going to be resolved because they just need to be resolved.
Have you seen customers react to the uncertainties in Europe, like Brexit, like the Italian budget issues, perhaps the issues are in France as well?
Well, I think that as you talk to folks around here, I think many of them have seen, you know, a little bit of a slowing. I'm not talking about our business, but a little bit of a slowing in Europe over the last 2 or 3, 4 quarters. But what they've told me is it hasn't been like precipitous. And anytime you see Brexit, you've got, you know, a bit of uncertainty in Germany, you've got the situation in France, you've got the situation in Italy. I mean, you would expect that might be the case. I actually believe that we should be super impressed with the resilience of the global economy over the last few years in the face of all these things. And that's the thing that gives me hope, as well as the fact that the underlying reasons that some of these issues need to be solved in a constructive way, I think the people who have to solve them understand that.
So I know you're reporting earnings next week. You're in the quiet couple of weeks. Yeah. You're in the quiet period, but it just sounds like you don't see this slowdown.
Well,
particularly in the U.S.
Well, we just see, if you go back to last quarter, we grew 8% last quarter. So what, I don't know, did something happen in the last 90 days? I mean, it was like the fastest growth quarter we've seen in years and years and years. So I think that the other thing that we believe is if you go back before the last, you know, the financial crisis, if you look at the role of technology, particularly in a business-to-business world, and we tend to focus so much on consumer technology that we don't talk about this a lot. If you look at the role that business technology is playing, 10, 12 years ago, our customers would build their strategy, and then they would turn to their operations teams, their technology teams, and they would say, do what you need to do to enable our strategy. And today, they're building their strategy based on their understanding of what technology allows them to do. So technology is at the core of how they evolve their strategy. So it's not an operational enabler. It's not something that, well, we just need to stop spending right now. It's at the heart of their business. So I think that my belief is that tech could see less, we'll see if it plays out, we could see less of a potential, precipitous fall off as we've seen in other earlier slowdowns, even though I'm not suggesting we're in a slowdown.
Chuck, let me switch gears, ask you a bit about China, in particular Huawei, because there's a lot of focus on Huawei. Obviously, the CFO detained initially because of espionage. Has Huawei, I know you have common lines of businesses with Huawei, right? Has Huawei stolen trade secrets from Cisco?
Well, first of all, I mean, they are our biggest competitor on a global basis. And I'll also just say that what I know about the situation is the same thing that everybody else knows, that what we read. But we had a suit back in the early 2000s, like literally like 2002, 2003, and subsequent to that, I mean, I have no knowledge of anything occurring. So What we focus on around the world with them or any other competitor is really delivering on, significant innovation to actually help our customers achieve what they're trying to achieve, and that's what we focused on.
It seems to me that given the worries about spying at Huawei, it's, if a customer has to choose, they're probably going to choose Cisco.
Well, I think, look, every customer around the world right now, they're making technology decisions based on innovation, based on customer support, but they're also making it based on trust. And that's no different whether they're looking at, whether we're talking about some of the social platforms or we're talking about companies like Cisco. I mean, that is an element when you think about privacy and you think about data and everything. It has become a much more important decision factor for our customers. So we focus on trying to just ensure that our customers feel as good as they can possibly feel about how we operate with them and how we take care of them in these areas.
So what are you doing specifically in terms of protecting the data? Your business is critical to so many companies in this environment where they're afraid of espionage.
Yeah, we actually have very few elements of our portfolio where we capture our customers' data, and we have zero where we monetize our customers' data. So where we do in some of our collaboration products, we comply with GDPR. In many cases, we host it in the country if that's what our countries are asking us to do. So we're just actually working with them. And the other thing we're trying to do, frankly, is if you're in government today, and your task is to regulate or drive policy in this rapidly changing technology world, I have tremendous empathy for them. I mean, that is a very hard thing to do, particularly when technology is not what they do for a living. So we're
government's about 20% of your business?
It's probably a little more than that globally, but the issue is that we're trying to spend time with them to the extent they want help, so they can understand these issues a little more. They can understand the implications of the different policies that they're considering, and we're trying to create a level of trust with them so that we can actually help them work through this, because it's a complicated situation.
Real quick on the cloud, you're seeing a lot of transition there from your customers. How significant is that business for you in terms of growth?
It's funny, I actually said a few months ago that if you go back 5 years, the cloud was going to be the death of us. And in the irony of all ironies, the cloud is actually driving our growth today. And so what we see happening is that our customers are consuming cloud services from IBM, from Google, from Amazon, from Microsoft. They're consuming software applications from Workday and Salesforce and others.
Right.
And so the underlying hypotheses that they used to build their original technology infrastructure, completely gone. Their traffic is going everywhere. And you got IoT, so they're having to restructure and reconstruct their infrastructure to actually accommodate that world, which is where we come in.
Chuck, it's good to have you on the program.
It's great to see you.
Thanks so much. Chuck Robbins is the CEO of Cisco.